All right, y'all, we're going to be replacing the lock cylinder on 93 S10. Reason being, it just turns without a key. So I'm going to upgrade my anti-theft and put me a new key cylinder in there. So first thing you want to do is disconnect negative battery terminal. Pull this thing off, and the wire for the horn is attached to the back of it here. It just pulls off. That's why you want your battery terminal unhooked. Next, there's a little clip in there. I'm just going to use a screwdriver to pop him off, and I got him off. Just kind of worked it with a screwdriver. Needle nose probably worked good too. And then next is the nut that holds the wheel on. So we'll take that off. And she's a 21 millimeter. Should come off pretty easy there. All right. So now I'm going to just thread that back on just a little bit, and I'm just going to try and wiggle this steering wheel off of here. But I want the nut just barely holding on to a few threads on the end, so if I get it pulled off, it don't come off and hit me in the face or anything crazy. So yeah, I just kind of grabbed the wheel at the 9 and 3 and just shook it side to side. It came off. They make pullers for this, which I've got the puller, but it figured I'd at least try it this way. So next, this little guy here needs to come off. It's part of your mechanism for your steering wheel lock. The thing you hit when you turn the key off. That thing there. So you gotta, there's a snap ring down here around the splines. You gotta actually push in on this so you can get the ring off. I could probably do it by hand, especially if I had a third hand, but I've got this tool. It's designed to make your life easier taking these off, so we're gonna set that up and give it a try. This threads on to the shaft like that. You set this jaw up like that and tighten this wing nut down, and as you tighten the wing nut, it'll actually push in on that. I'm just kind of using a pick and a screwdriver, just working it out of that groove, and then it'll pull back off. So you just got to fiddle with it a little bit. Which one I got popped out, and then you can kind of see the groove kind of right back in here where it sits. So we'll take this tool off and then pull that off, and then this should come out. All right, so we'll pull our ring the rest of the way off here. Let that guy, we'll lay him down here. And then this guy here should just come straight off. It looks like it'll really only go back on one way. Harness comes through that hole. So I'll lay you down there. Then probably need to get this green thing out of the way. Okay then, that was easy. I ain't never done this before. I'd be a whole lot better off if I knew what I was doing though. So this screw here for your blinkers, it has to come out because you gotta get this white thing out. So that screw has to come out, and I believe there's a screw inside of your hazard button that has to come out. And then it's actually bolted in. It's got a little screw down here holding it. Looks like a screw behind there, and then it should come out. I think once I get this undone, this will shift, and then there's one more back there I got to get out. I got this out, the hole right there. This arm has a little nub on it, and you probably cannot see this, but on the end of the turn signal switch, I'm sorry, you can't see that at all. But you'll see it once you get it apart. That little nub connects to that, and that's how you work the turn signal switch. So be prepared for that. And then let's keep taking screws out. Got the screw out for the hazard switch. It'll come right out. Easy, easy. Let's see, what else? This thing here, just the last screws right there, because I got that one out and that one out. Just shift this guy down and get that one out. Got all my screws out. Now this guy here should just wiggle on out. I think there's some wires on the back side of this, so be careful. I wouldn't go yanking it if you can help it. I got him pulled out. Just be gentle, because you got a whole harness right back here. Well, that should slide out of the way enough. So now we can get our lock cylinder out. Should just be that little guy right here. It's a little, mine's a bolt. All right, so I got our little 8mm from in there out. Well, I used an 8mm. I don't think that's what size it was. I think it's a standard, but I don't even know where my standard sockets are right now. So I made an 8mm work, and now your key switch should just pull on out. There she is. Here's my new key cylinder. Cost me a whopping $6 down at the parts house. And there's a part number for your reference. Let's unbox her here. Sorry. There she is. 2 new keys. It's chrome. They had a black option too, but I just went with the chrome, the OE. I don't have any plans of blacking out the truck, so you know. Sorry guys, hate to keep moving yins around like that. Keys actually, they don't say GM on them, but they do say for GM cars. They look like GM keys, so that's cool. So now, look at this thing. Sorry, my finger was in the way. Should go in just like that. It's got a notch on the bottom of it. That's where that bolt we took out it'll like go through and lock in. So it needs to be lined up with the hole on the bottom. And just stick her in. And then you can start putting her back together. Just start with your little mystery bolt. It's interesting. Has an R on it. I'm not entirely sure what that stands for. Must be one of them R bolts. Mine got have a little bit of a gap in between the cylinder right here in the column. I guess so you can push it in. Just finagle it, and the bolt will eventually fall in there, and then just snug her on down with the socket of your choice. You really ain't got a He-Man this thing. Just a little bump on her, be just fine. She ain't gonna go nowhere. I'm gonna go ahead and just test her, make sure she'll turn. Yep. All good there. Doesn't turn on her own no more. All right, so now we'll slide this back in. Kind of line it up the best you can. And we'll get our screws started back in it. I'm honestly a little surprised with how simple this is. I've never really gotten inside of one of these and messed with it. And there is good videos on YouTube about how to do this, but I don't know. Kind of wanted to start my own channel here and see if I could help make people's lives easier the way that some of the other videos have helped me on all sorts of stuff. This truck, other trucks. It's kind of funny. I bought this truck. I didn't even know the key switch was like that until somebody else got in it and was trying to do something. found out that the key would turn with no switch. So, you know, ain't a big deal, but also kind of sketches me out parking it anywhere that I can't see it or for a length of time, like at Walmart or something. You know, somebody gonna steal it, they're gonna steal it. But also, I'd rather not make it any easier on them than what we need to if I can help it. This little arm, you probably ain't gonna be able to see this either, but yeah, y'all can't even see that. It'll make more sense if you're taking it off in person. You'll be able to see in there and see where it goes. You'll know you got it if it holds the stalk still and you hit it, and you can kind of see how all that works to make your turn signals work. Let's see. This thing's next. I think it went on something like that. It just kind of sits in there, I reckon. That thing on, feed you wire through that. And stick that guy on. And now we'll need our tool to put back on here so we can get our little ring back on there. Just to kind of clarify on this tool, it was $14. It's worth it. Like I said, you probably get it off without it, but just spend the $14 and make your life a little easier. And you just turn that knob to twist this onto the shaft here. And then this wing nut, I set mine up like that, and it seemed to work for me, but it probably don't really matter. And as you tighten this nut, it's going to push that spring back. You've probably seen a spring around the shaft whenever I was in there working on the rest of it. That's what you're pressing in. Okay, so you folks that are smarter than me probably caught what I did there. Slide your ring on the shaft before you put the tool on if you elect to use the tool. It's got to go on first. Just get it in place, and then once you get all this compressed, she'll slide right in. But I'm sure all you people out there that's smarter than me probably caught that and was pitching a fit, but it'll be all right. Get you tightened back down here. Okay, got my ring seated on there. I'd probably just walk it back on here with my fingers, honestly. Just got to get it snapped into the groove there. There it is. Click. I'd be a lot better off if I knew what I was doing. So now just bolt your wheel back up. Of course, your horn wire is going to come through the little hole in there. You know, I didn't really pay too much attention to how this thing came off. So I'm hoping that's right. The wheels are straight, so the steering wheel should be kind of straight. Doesn't really matter. It was off to the left anyway, so we'll see. No harder than it was to pull off. Ain't gonna be a big deal if I have to pull it off and straighten it up a little bit. Got your nut there, just thread her on there. I really just don't want to stop recording this video to go check my splines or position of the wheel, so it'll be all right. Okay, got our nut back on. Now we'll let's put this lock ring. It goes on the end, so we'll just pop him on there. So that thing, I just kind of stuffed one end up against the nut and then just pushed on it with a screwdriver and it popped in. So it wasn't too bad. I mean, again, it's something there's special tools for that you can stick in here to spread the ring, but who cares? My way worked too. And that guy just pops on, so we're gonna give her another test here. All right. I'm gonna go use my 8mm wrench to hook the battery back up, and then we'll do a test start on her, see how she does. So I hooked up the battery, and now with the key in, it lets me know. So that's a nice touch that my old cylinder didn't have. So we'll start her on up here and see what happens. just kind of just do a few test spins of the wheel since we had her all off, and test my turn signals. There's left turn, there's right turn. It goes off, right turn's on, turn to the right, turn back straight, it goes off, so we're good there. Hazards work, so that's good. Turn it off, press the release, key comes out. And both keys work. So, all right, guys. So, tools I used, which I wish I could have told you this up front, but horn cover just pulls off by hand. Flathead screwdriver that got the snap ring off. 21 millimeter socket. A deep well might be easier, but short one worked fine too. Use that with a decent size ratchet to unbolt the steering wheel. Shook the wheel and it came off, but if yours don't come off, they do make a puller for it. I think they're like 15-20 bucks at the parts house too. Pick for the little snap ring, and of course my specialty tool down there to push that thing off, to get it off. And then oops, well, there went my Phillips, but I use that to get the screws off. And then, like I said, I use my 8mm socket to get the bolt out for the key switch, and then an 8mm something or another to undo the battery. So hope this helps. If y'all have any questions, drop me a comment. Like and subscribe for more content, I guess, because that's what they say to do on the YouTube. And like I said, if there's anything that ain't clear, there are other good videos out there on how to do this that I did watch too. So, you know, if something ain't covered here, I'd say one of them other ones will really help you out and shed some light on it. But overall, very simple project to do. If you got the tools to do it and a little bit of sense, I believe you guys will be just fine. Thanks for watching.